Right to work affirms the freedom of every American to work for a living without being compelled to belong to a union. By allowing workers' choice, we are cultivating a free and fair environment in our state. Right to work creates a competitive business climate. Missouri is losing jobs and population to our right to work neighboring states. All the states surrounding Missouri, with the exception of Illinois, have passed right to work laws.
Right to work states, economically they're doing better. You're seeing higher population growth, you're seeing higher job growth in those right to work states. You're seeing wages going up faster in right to work states. In my home state of Michigan, since passing right to work, our wages have gone up $71 a week. Our weekly earnings are up $71 since right to work passed in 2012. That's 9.2%. In Indiana, after they passed right to work, their weekly earnings are up $102 a week, 14%.
I know where we're going, and we all know where we're going, and there's no need to sit here and beat each other up. And just on behalf of our 20,000 members, we're going to celebrate the council's 135th birthday this year. And we have survived uncertain political climates, we have survived recessions and depressions, and we'll get through this. We're not happy, they'll never understand why you did this, but I hope I'm wrong. And I've never said that in a hearing before, and I'll probably never say it again, but I hope 5 years from now, I'm before you, and I say that was the smartest thing the policymakers of the 2017 General Assembly did.
A few years ago, we embarked on a study to kind of see where the state was going. And we tested 1,000 presidents and CEOs, and we talked to, I don't know how many site selectors from around the country, and we commissioned the Gallup Research Group to do that. We spent a lot of resources to get the best, most unbiased information we could out of that. And what we learned is that Missouri is not operating at as high of a project flow that it could have for manufacturing projects at only about 60%. We also learned between the ages of 25 and 44, Missouri is losing people. Not too long ago, we had 13 congressional districts. Now we're down to 8, and the trend is continuing in an unfavorable manner. The more people you have, the more broad of a tax base you have, and that's how we spur economic development. GDP growth, job growth, that's all in these right-to-work states. When it comes to population, right-to-work states have increased by 13% over the last 10 years, 6.5% in non-right-to-work states.
Mr. Bundy, when you talk to site selectors for companies or for industries, does right-to-work sometimes come up?
Sometimes, depending on the company.
Yeah.
It's what we hear is sometimes it's the number one issue.
Right.
If we're not right to work, we're not even considered. And I want to point out, site selectors aren't hired to select a state to relocate or expand into. They're hired to cross off states.
Right.
And far too often Missouri is crossed off that list because we're not right to work. I'm not saying it's the number one issue. It's not the thing that we're going to pass right to work and on August 28th the trend reverses. No, it's a whole recipe of things, including tort reform. And I look forward to Senator Green's testimony in support of our robust tort reform agenda this year. But nevertheless, we are getting crossed off those lists. And I think it's something that with 27 states now, the trend is continuing towards right to work. And I don't think we want to be left behind. And that's why the Missouri Chamber is supporting this bill.
You know, the other thing that occurs to me, I've heard testimony from the opposition who would say that no infrastructure or education training is very important and even more important than right to work. And I don't necessarily have evidence to the contrary, but what I would ask is who has the better education system, Illinois or Missouri or Kansas? Who has the best roads, us or Kansas or Illinois or Oklahoma? And Senator Leibler might have opinions on the road question, but it's a matter of dispute. A lot of depending what you measure. But right to work is a yes or no thing. You're either right to work or you're not. So we can tell you who Kansas is right to work, Missouri is, and Illinois is. So I appreciate your testimony.